Hey everybody, welcome back to Spot On with Link Lauren. It is Monday, another week on God's green earth. I couldn't be more excited to talk with you guys today. We have some hot topics. We have a guest coming on. We have a straight man who knows about sports and all things related to sports. He works with Barstool, so he's coming on. His name is Jack Mack. We, of course, have to talk about Meghan Markle, who is allegedly doing a Princess Diana documentary. You can't go lower. You can't go lower than using your husband's deceased mother, who is a legend and an icon and revered around the world. You can't go lower than using her for clout and attention. But I told you guys, I told you Meghan Markle and Harry were going to get more desperate, and they're hitting depths I didn't even see coming. They are hitting depths I didn't even see coming. We're going to talk about Katy Perry as well. Is she trying to steal a house from an elderly man? Katy Perry, there was a convent she tried to purchase and the nuns were dropping like flies. So Katy Perry, maybe she's a ghoul, maybe she's a bad luck charm. We have a lot to get into. We're also going to talk about some things I can't stand about travel. We did call through your horror stories from last week. We're going to talk about travel a little bit again. And a phenomenon I can't handle as well, which is when you go to restaurants and people are talking on speakerphone and on FaceTime. So without further ado, we're going to pay some bills. Stick around and we'll be right back. Well, my friends, I'm back telling you about masa chips today. You guys know I love masa chips. I don't do Tostitos. I don't do any other tortilla chips. Yesterday, I was having some salsa. I had some skirt steak, some guacamole. I was dipping those chips in. They did not break one time. And let me tell you a little bit more about why I love masa chips. If you're new here, if you haven't heard this before, masa chips, they're made with just 3 ingredients: organic corn, sea salt, and 100% grass-fed beef tallow. That's it. No seed oils, no junk. Masa chips, they're what chips should be. So go try them and you will taste the difference. Masa chips is beloved by tens of thousands of customers and has been endorsed by industry-leading health and nutrition experts. You should give masa a try, so go to masachips.com/link and use code LINK for 25% off your first order. That's masachips.com/link, code LINK for 25% off your first order. Well, I just want to start off this episode by talking about some things that I hate. Okay, it's Monday morning. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep. Maybe I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, but there are just some things that irked me over the weekend, and I think they might irk you as well. Okay, the first thing I noticed over the weekend that I absolutely can't stand are people who FaceTime in restaurants. Okay, this is a new phenomenon. You go out to lunch, you go out to dinner, there is always some mom on FaceTime with her child. She's on her phone. She's like, look where mommy is. Hi, sweetie. Look at the restaurant. You know what? If the kid's at home with the nanny, if the kid is not out with you at lunch or at dinner, the kid doesn't get to experience the restaurant. Okay? If you're having fajitas and margaritas and you're out with your girlfriends, you don't need to FaceTime the kid. Okay? And your girlfriends don't have the audacity to tell you they don't want you FaceTiming your kid either. Okay? So when I'm in a restaurant and the table next to me has someone on FaceTime with that high pitch, look around the restaurant, how are you? Nobody needs to hear your conversation. Okay, if you want to be mother of the year, go home to your child, but don't FaceTime your child and phone it in. I also wonder about this generation because growing up, I was right before the whole FaceTime phenomenon blew up. I imagine these kids are confused, right? They're seeing mommy and daddy through FaceTime. Why don't they see mommy and daddy at home? So I don't love that. I don't love people who FaceTime in restaurants. And then I was talking with my producer, talking with some friends as well. They brought up this idea of people who speak on speakerphone at nail salons. Okay, if you've been to a nail salon, which I've done a few times in New York City, especially after COVID, there wasn't that much to do. The nail salon was one of the few businesses that survived in my neighborhood through COVID. So I would go because it was nice to get the foot massage. And y'all know how it is, okay? At the nail salon, they trap you. They give you a little bit of the foot massage and the leg massage, and then they're like, we can do 5 more minutes for $10, and you're just about to relax, and you're like, you got me, I'll pay it, another 5 minutes. So at the nail salon, I am sick of these women who want to talk on speakerphone. Okay, we don't need you to talk on speakerphone at the nail salon. You're not that important, okay? You're not splitting the atom. You're probably not running a Fortune 500 company, and nobody needs to hear your entire conversation at the nail salon, okay? If you can't handle 30 minutes of peace away from your phone, that's an issue with you, okay? So I don't need speakerphone in public. I don't need speakerphone at the nail salon. We don't all need to hear what you have going on in your life. And I think what happens is sometimes people can't be stationary or be with themselves. You see this at the airport. Someone will be sitting waiting for a flight. They go through their phone. They call every friend and relative they haven't talked to in months or years because they just want to kill the time waiting for a flight. Nobody needs that, okay? Wait for your flight, read a book, listen to some music. You don't have to call everyone all the time. So I'm sick of speakerphone in public. I'm very sick of FaceTime in public, as you can tell, okay? And speaking of airports, something I cannot stand. Something I cannot stand in airports are the women who are walking around in skin-tight leggings, like the gray skin-tight leggings, the nude tone skin flesh-colored leggings, okay? If I'm at an airport and it's 6 a.m. and I'm at a Chili's or TGI Fridays in the concourse, I don't need to see camel toe, okay? I don't need to see your Puss in Boots at 8 in the freaking morning when I'm waiting for my flight. Okay, it's bad enough I'm gonna have to get in and be at the back of economy in steerage with all the dirt and germs and diseases and probably barefoot people, as we spoke about in the last episode of this podcast, episode 28. So no, when I'm at the airport, I don't need to see the nude tone leggings. And I know there are a lot of women out there who agree because I was speaking to them over the weekend. Am I in the wrong for this? Am I in the wrong? Am I being dramatic? No. Okay, I don't need to see all of your monkey business at the airport at frickin' 6 in the morning when I'm groggy and just getting on a flight. You know what I'm saying? And that can't be sanitary. It can't be sanitary to wear such a thin fabric when you're boarding a plane. Who wants to sit on an airplane, a dirty airplane seat, where you're probably gonna get a venereal disease just from the seat alone? And you show up in leggings and camel toe? Nobody wants to see that. Okay, I'm sorry, I love my women, I love my girls. Throw on a pair of jeans, throw on a pair of khakis, okay? You're not dressing for the runway. In fact, with the way flying is now, flying is so dangerous. These planes are going down, the doors are coming off. Y'all should be dressed for heaven, okay? From now on, I actually think anytime you get on a plane, be dressed to meet your maker at the pearly gates, okay? That is how you should dress. I don't wanna see you in nude, skin, flesh tone leggings at the airport. We don't need to see it, okay? Or at the gym. I don't need to see the compression biker shorts. Unless you are a Kardashian, I don't need to see it. And I don't even need to see it from them. But we discovered Kim Kardashian on her back and she's a whore. And so we expect it from her. But I don't need to see these leggings at the airport anymore. And I know women in the comments are probably gonna rip me to shreds, okay? But I stand by what I said, and I know there are a lot of women out there who agree with me. Okay, throw on a pair of blue jeans, okay? We don't need to see all of it. I don't need to see hills and valleys and all of that, okay? The last time I saw that was the day I came out of my mother's womb, okay? That was the last time I ever was near any of that situation. So I love my women, love my girls. We wouldn't be here without women on this planet. But even from a sanitary standpoint, it cannot be clean to be on an airplane seat in those frickin' skin-tight leggings. But let's move on. Now it's time for a royal roundup. Okay, we always do this probably every other episode, but these folks, they're ex-royals, okay? We have to talk about the Duchess of Scamalot, Meghan Markle. Okay, she's really using that title. Netflix, her show premieres in one day. Okay, her show premieres in one day. Of course, I'll be back on Wednesday to discuss it. I'll be on Megyn Kelly's show on Wednesday to discuss it as well. We have to unpack season 2 of her Netflix cooking show. But one thing about Meghan Markle, Netflix is promoting it as the Duchess of Sussex. They're promoting it so hard. Watch the Duchess of Sussex. Can Meghan even find Sussex on a map? Because she was there for 5 hours. Okay, so she's really using this title. She's using this title. You see this in politics a lot too. People like work somewhere for 2 weeks and then for the rest of their lives, I was the assistant secretary of the such and such. Sir, okay? Your title is a bunch of crap. But Meghan Markle, she's clinging to her title. She's also going viral for something that's not very relatable. I'm not a big cook, okay? I'm not known to cook. But one thing you normally don't do is cook in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of jewelry, especially when you're trying to be this like relatable, down-to-earth, mother green, nature woman walking around barefoot in Montecito. But let me read you what was happening, okay? So she wore more than $338,000 worth of jewelry while whipping up a pasta dish, okay? Now, most chefs, they remove their jewelry and their rings. They even tie their hair back. You don't have long hair and extensions in your food. But Meghan Markle, she seems to be playing by her own rules. So be careful if you eat at Meghan Markle's house. We've discovered she has like bugs and crickets and insects in her food. From the pictures we've seen, you might have hair in your food. You might end up, honestly, if you eat at Meghan Markle's house, about to say another Meghan, if you eat at Meghan Markle's house, you might end up with like a ring in the food. You might think you're getting proposed to because she's wearing all this jewelry, okay? So she was wearing diamonds, a gold Cartier, some more gold Cartier watches, and other weighty engagement rings. One thing she wore also, okay, was Princess Diana's Cartier tank watch, worth about $24,000, which was gifted to her after she married Prince Harry. Now, this is very interesting. I'm not shocked that she's wearing Princess Diana's jewelry in the trailer because she needs Princess Diana to drum up attention for herself. Like when she dropped her rosé, does anybody talk about that rosé anymore? Meghan Markle drops this rosé, I believe on Princess Diana's birthday. May she rest in peace. But we'll get to that in a second, okay? So then she also had on a $3,197 Jennifer Meyer mini bezel tennis bracelet, handcrafted from polished 18-karat yellow gold. And of course, her $161,922 engagement ring stacked with her about $14,000 wedding band. So this is all very relatable. She's wearing Cartier and Princess Diana's jewelry. I mean, Princess Diana, right, was the elite of the elite British royalty, okay? Just a queen in her own right, Princess Diana. I don't think she ever imagined that this washed up wannabe actress from Hollywood would be wearing her jewelry in a wannabe Martha Stewart cooking show on Netflix, okay? Princess Diana probably never imagined her jewelry would end up out in California worn by this washed up chick from Suits making pasta in a kitchen. Now, I'm really pissed off, okay? I'm really pissed off about this next story, and I know many of you are as well. If you don't know what's happening, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are allegedly pitching a Princess Diana documentary to Netflix. I'm going to wait for you to vomit and be sick. Of course, they know their deal with Netflix is really on the chopping block, right? They were demoted to a first look deal, okay? Which means basically Netflix doesn't want too much to do with Harry and Meghan at this point. They're not big breadwinners. They're not bringing in the dough. But if you have any projects, give us a first look. Give us that first right of refusal. That is what they're doing. But they are pitching a 2027 documentary about Princess Diana to coincide with the anniversary of her death as part of their new Netflix deal, okay? An industry source said, if Harry wants to do it, then Netflix will bite his hand off. Now, it's worth noting, Prince Harry has already appeared in 2 documentaries about Diana, which were commissioned to mark the 20th anniversary of her death in 2017. So Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they know their clout is down. They can't generate press. They're trying to whore out the kids and use the kids more on social media. Archie and Lilibet. Ooh, I hate that she named her Lilibet. Lilibet Diana, actually, ironically. And the last thing I will say, just to reiterate, you can't go lower, okay? Meghan Markle, you can't go lower. Bottom of the barrel gutter fish trash. To use a dead woman for clout, fame, attention, to use Princess Diana, a woman you never met, who would not have liked you, in my opinion, for all of your attention, because everything you tried to do has failed, Meghan Markle. Everything you've tried to do has failed. And Prince Harry, you're just as culpable, okay? Everybody said for years, Prince Harry's, PW'd by this woman. She pulled the wool over his eyes. If you go in there and make a documentary about your deceased mother, Princess Diana, who was beloved, and with your wife, Meghan Markle, for attention and press, you are just as bad, Prince Harry. And I hope Prince William never forgives you. I hope your titles are stripped and you have no business being in the UK whatsoever. So we'll be tracking this story. I hope this documentary does not get made, but they say it's slated to come out in 2027 on the anniversary of Princess Diana's death. I think it's gross. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. Let her rest in peace. So I wasn't going to film anything today. It's a maintenance day. I had to get my hair done. I had to go work out. It takes a village. But there's this woman. She's going viral all over X because she says she would rather get carjacked and have her arm broken than allow the federal government to come in and help clean up Chicago. Okay, we have found TDS Patient Zero. Now, as soon as she started going viral, she deleted her account. But because I'm me and I don't trust the cloud, I had already printed her tweet out this morning. So joke's on you, Jill. Of course her name is Jill. I don't have good luck with women named Jill. Look at Jill Biden. That's a wench right there. But let me read you what she said. She said, at Donald Trump, I've been carjacked in Chicago with my arm broken. I still don't want you or your troops here. TIA. By the way, there are no red hats here. I don't know what TIA means. Maybe she had a TIA, which is like a mini stroke. That would explain what's going on in her head. This is part and parcel of why I talk about Trump deranged white liberal women all the time. They sit there at home consuming a steady diet of MSNBC and their Trump derangement has taken over their entire lives. lives. They have no personalities left except Trump derangement syndrome. They would rather get carjacked and have their arms broken, allegedly, than admit, you know what, we have a crime issue, please come help us, federal government. I really feel at this point, most of these women with Trump derangement syndrome, they have serious daddy issues or issues with men that they are projecting onto President Trump, okay? Because he's the most famous, powerful man, the most visible man in media. They're projecting all their issues with men onto him. This is where the modern feminist movement is on the left, okay? They are fighting for open borders, even though folks like Laken Riley and Jocelyn Nagari lost their lives at the hands of illegal migrant criminals. They're fighting to keep men in women's sports, so I guess young girls can get pummeled and have brain damage. This is what TDS, liberal white women on the left, want for America. And here's my thing, my friends. I don't care who you vote for, okay? There's no requirement for you to love President Trump. You don't have to love anything a president does. But if they do something that helps you and benefits your community or your country, you gotta give them a little bit of credit, okay? If Joe Biden had done something decent or good the last 4 years, except have topless trans people on the lawn and coke everywhere, I would have given him credit too. I swear, some of these women like Jill, they need to touch grass and get laid. Okay, if you touch grass and get laid, your life will... I know most of you liberal women have sworn off men forever, but I'm telling you, I think a good old night of knocking boots would knock that noggin back into place. Y'all aren't okay. Okay, we need to open a clinic for folks with Trump derangement syndrome. It really is an epidemic. These people would rather get... Walking around Chicago, it's like walking around a third world country. Do you have your wallet? Do you have your phone? Like, it is not safe. Okay, so Jill... we wish you well, sweetheart. Maybe you can come back online soon. All right, my friends, thanks for liking and following. Drop a comment. Tell me what you think about Trump derangement syndrome and some of these liberal women who just aren't going to come back. They're too far gone. I don't know about you, but after I travel, my skin is dry. That's when Peak's Radiant Skin Duo came to the rescue. This doctor-recommended duo, trusted by experts like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Jason Fung, and Dr. Will Cole, supports whole body wellness from the inside out. Sun Goddess Matcha provides steady, calm energy throughout the day, packed with L-theanine for focus and EGCG antioxidants. It supports skin clarity and gut health. BT Fountain electrolytes hydrate like nothing else and help lock moisture in, making skin look amazing. And Peak ensures all ingredients are free from heavy metals, pesticides, and mold. If you need more hydration, then give Peak a try. Get 20% off plus a free frother and glass beaker here, peaklife.com/link. Again, that's peaklife.com/link. Well, my friends, I could not be more excited about this next guest. He is a viral sensation. I've been a fan of his for years, for a long, long, long time. He's part of the Barstool sports family. You know how we feel about Dave Portnoy. We love him. We love everyone at Barstool. So without further ado, let me welcome Jack Mack. Jack, how are you doing today? Thanks for being here.
No, thank you for having me. There was a little bit of concern with my Wi-Fi, but it seems like it's working smoothly, and I'm honored to be here. And
okay.
It's great. It's great to be here.
I don't know what's going on Monday morning, Jack. It's like our technology was being crazy. We had to restart. I don't know what's going on in the moon and the stars. I don't believe in all of that, but I have to ask you, okay? You're the perfect person to talk to about this. What is going on with the Viking cheerleader? Okay, because some people, they're fine with the male cheerleader. They're totally fine with it. He's going viral all over the internet. Some people absolutely hate it. I'm sort of conflicted because I feel like some teams have had male cheerleaders for a long time. They're normally like big and strong so they can lift the girls up. Do dudes care if there's a guy? Like, does that take away from the other 99 great cheerleaders if there's one dude thrown in? What do you think?
I mean, I think the difference is it's kind of like I don't want to call it a bad faith argument when someone brings up that, oh, there's always been male cheerleaders. Mm-hmm. Because the male cheerleaders aren't wearing the same kind of skimpy outfits. Okay. And also the male cheerleaders, as we're seeing right now on screen, they're not dancing typically like this. Now, am I somebody who's going to go to a Vikings game and be like, man, like this is the worst thing ever. I'm not going to watch football anymore. No, but some people, I guess, it is a little crazy. But I mean, it's in my head. It's not because this is culture. Like it's kind of just it is what it is.
But he almost seems like a parody. It seems like a Will Ferrell kind of parody in a way. I agree with what you're saying now that you're saying this. Like the male cheerleaders I've seen, yeah, they're like lifting the girls up for these like huge leaps and tricks and flips. I do agree with you. I also feel like they chose a very feminine looking guy. Like, in my opinion, just my opinion alone, this guy has had a little bit of plastic surgery, a little bit of Botox and filler. I get it. I kind of get it now, but I'm just like, do guys actually care that much? Like, is it gonna ruin it for you if there's this one dude on the field?
I like, we've gone through so many kind of, I would say, eras of NFL fans saying that they're not going to watch anymore. But that's just not true. You see the numbers. NFL is very popular. It continues to be one of the most watched live sporting or live events outside of, actually, it is the most watched live event in the world outside of the World Cup and then maybe like the Olympic. I don't know. It's just like in America, football will always be dominant. And I don't think you could have every team have 100 men, or not 100. Like, how many girls or women are on a NFL cheerleader team? 15, 20. All of the teams could have them be just men, flamboyant men like that. And I don't think it would affect ratings. Like, I think it's too powerful, too big to fail. That being said, it's interesting because some NFL teams have gone away from cheerleading because it is it's like viewed as sexist. And a lot of the teams that are more down south, Cowboys, which I mean you can debate if Texas is down south all you want, but like that, just for the sake of what we're talking about, the Jaguars still have it, the Dolphins still have it, I think the Falcons still have it. But it's interesting, like now it's okay to return and be in a skimpy outfit as long as you have like one or two dudes on your team.
No, but it's also like, okay, being from Dallas, there's no institution like the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. I mean, you have to admit that there's no better cheerleader squad than Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. I mean, this is a fact. It's not a fact?
They are elite. The only people, earlier this year, actually not earlier, just a month ago or so, late June, I was in Vegas and I got to tour the Allegiant Stadium, which is where the Raiders play. And they take a lot of pride in their team, are their cheerleaders as well. But it's kind of like comparing, it's impossible to compare. It's the Cowboys cheerleaders are 1-1. I think everyone's competing for second. And that's just because the Cowboys, they've cornered that market. They have the Netflix show now. They had a show back in the day. And also,
the show back in the day was so good. Oh, the show back in the day was so good.
The show back in the day was like, you couldn't do it now. It would get too canceled. They were talking about like a woman would be like 110 pounds, like 8% body fat. And they'd be like too fat.
No, literally the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader, the old show, totally size 000. The girls are like, I haven't eaten in 3 weeks. And they're like, well, sweetheart, you need to get up and start running on the treadmill a little bit more, honey. You're getting a little thick here. Like they'd have them come in and try on the real like short shorts. And they're like, yeah, it wouldn't work. So, but I feel like in the culture now, it's okay to go back to that. Like we're in this era of like make America hot again, where it's like now you can say, you know what? We want to see hot people who are healthy and fit doing flips and tricks. You know what I'm saying? It's like sort of the Sydney Sweeney model. Like it's okay to have Sydney Sweeney who's hot in an ad every once in a while. We don't have to have like 500-pound non-binary people like in the Calvin Klein ad. You know what I'm saying? I think it's okay to let people be hot again, Jack.
Yeah, 100%. There is the flip side where I think like it is a little bit like abusive to have someone who hasn't ate in like 3 weeks, like just completely depleted. And it's like kind of death and being like, you got to lose 5 more pounds. But I agree. Nobody wants to go to an NFL game and see a 500-pound cheerleader. I think this would be, that would be an interesting poll. Who would you rather see, like the flamboyant
gay guy
Vikings man,
or Lizzo,
or like just a offensive line squad? I think more people would pick the flamboyant man with like 15 hot women, because like any guy, any red-blooded American male that loves hot women has not anyone, but most have been around women, and like sometimes they bring around the gay friend. Like it's kind of
Right.
fitting.
You know, I've
Yeah,
been,
yeah,
I used to be that gay friend, in high school. So no, I get that. I get that 100%. No, I think my thing is it's like, I love the women of all different shape sizes. People watching this, y'all are all different shape sizes and we love you, but you're not trying to be a cheerleader. You know what I'm saying? It's like when we have our cheerleaders, they're supposed to be like superhuman. They're not supposed to look like your
100%.
average normal girl. It's like the whole thing with the Victoria's Secret show, Jack. I was talking about this a few weeks ago. It's like they canceled the Victoria's Secret show years ago, which I used to love because they went woke and they're like, oh, we have to have all different body types. No, the point of the Victoria's Secret fashion show is that you guys were like insane 0-0 Amazonian models. Like you're not supposed to look like 99% of the population.
Yeah, and also, I mean, there isn't like a part of the NFL game where they let somebody like me come into the like run onto the
Right.
field. Like who wants to
Totally.
watch that? It's supposed to be like an elite thing, and I get it's a little bit different, and I do understand the concern to an extent, but also it's not everything. It's not like, and I completely agree with what you just said there. Like that, it's not that we're saying you have to love the only person you can love and respect is if you're built like a Victoria's Secret model. Like no, like get out of here. They're supermodels. They're the one of 1 million.
Totally. Okay, speaking of football, do you think Taylor Swift should play the Super Bowl halftime show? Do you have anybody in mind who should play?
But she's the obvious choice, right? She's never done it.
Right.
Even if you hate her, she's like the biggest star right now outside of like, I mean, Beyonce's done it, Rihanna's done it. So it's like, who's bigger than her that hasn't done it?
Totally. No, I think we
She
need
could,
Taylor
like,
Swift.
it would be huge. Like it would just be huge. But here's the thing. I think like the halftime show is always supposed to be something big, but like, I don't think it really matters much. Ah,
You don't
I
think
don't
people
know.
care?
Actually, no, people do.
I feel
care.
like if
I
it's
guess I
like
go
a
back and
Prince,
forth because
like
it's like,
Prince Purple Rain, if it's like a really good halftime show, I think people love it. If it's mediocre, nobody remembers by the time they're back on the field. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares. I even thought like the Rihanna halftime show was kind of boring. I think we've had some boring halftime shows. I'm looking at these pictures on the screen. Does Taylor Swift have sex appeal? Like, do guys find Taylor Swift hot? Because I can't find any of my straight guy friends who think she's hot. Like, is she sexy? What is her appeal, you think, for guys?
I would say she's without a doubt attractive. Like I think she's somebody like if I saw in person, I'd be like, wow, like really, really attractive. But like, is she like Sydney Sweeney level? You brought her up earlier. No, I mean, I also think it's like so many people tell you that she's supposed to be attractive. You're like, that's not how it works. But I mean, I would say, yeah, she's like, how old is she? She's like, what, 34 or something?
34, 35. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's like very attractive. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not like jumping up and down for her. Like,
You're not
I mean,
jumping up and down. Okay. I feel like you could get in trouble with your boss if you say anything negative about Taylor Swift. There's no one who's a bigger Taylor Swift fan than Dave Portnoy on this earth. Okay.
I mean, she fits. She fits
Right.
the idea of like an attractive woman. She's tall, long legs, blonde
Totally.
to an extent.
100%.
She's attractive. Yeah, but like when we're talking about what are guys and who are guys talking about, like I mean, we're talking they when they discuss sex appeal for like people that are celebrities. I mean, you're talking about top of the top, best of the best. Like
Right.
she sells out stadiums every fucking night. What does she also have to be the sexiest woman alive? No,
Right.
it's like who cares?
Totally. The last thing I want to talk to you about is this viral clip of Zoran Mamdani, okay, Democratic candidate for mayor in New York City, trying to bench press. Okay, I believe he was trying to bench press 135 pounds. I don't know. He's been called scrawny. People have been making fun of him. I think we might have a clip we'll put up. But Zoran Mamdani, what do we think about this bench press fail? Because I even think from a PR perspective, why go bench press on camera if you know you can't do it? Like normally a politician, they know, okay, we're going to go do this stunt. We're going to go show up and do this thing. We're going to nail it. Why go and then make a fool of yourself?
I think so. From the reporting that people were there, he was like goaded into doing it, kind of.
Okay.
But he is. I think he's at a point like he's gonna be the mayor of New York City. I don't think people really understand it. He's massive. And like there's a lot of people that disagree with him, but nobody is coming together to be the one person to go against him. There's like three guys, Curtis Sewa, Cuomo, and Eric Adams. They won't agree on who can like. You're just splitting up the votes at that point. He's going to be the mayor of New York City. There's a lot of policies out there that like make you roll your eyes. How much harm can a mayor do really depends on his relationship with the NYPD. I think a lot he's toned down his rhetoric in terms of like defunding the police, but that is a concern. Doing this, I think it doesn't matter because he's so good at social media. My prediction is he's going to have like some stunt on social media that makes this like in his favor. He turns everything in his favor. He's very Trumpian in that way. Why did he do it? I think he didn't know that he couldn't do it. Like I think you could tell by the way that he set up himself on the bench, his legs flailing. Like he's never really benched before. Because if you have, you kind of push through, you like put your feet on the ground and then you push through like the ground to increase the power up. But his legs were flailing, which were just like, it was pretty funny. It was like a kid sitting on a high chair. The true question is, it's like, should like politicians be able to do that? But here's the thing, I don't know how many politicians would be able to bench that. I think that like over 75% would fail. Like Mitch McConnell would die. I think Trump would very much struggle. I think what's her name would die. Nancy Pelosi would die. AOC, possibly she's younger. But like for males, I'm just thinking males, like because it's tough. Women bench press. But JD Vance
could. Okay, but JD Vance could do it 100%. JD Vance could do that bench press 100%. And here's the thing with like President Trump. He still has the riz and the charisma and the swagger to make it work. You know what I'm saying? Like when he calls someone out in the crowd, there was a clip of Trump not too long ago. He calls a guy out in the crowd. He's like, man, you're ripped. I'm paraphrasing. He's like, you're ripped. If I would look like that if I, worked out or whatever. Like he could just play it off. I feel like Zoran Mamdani, I don't know, he's looking like a little bit of a beta, but it's not going to matter because like you said, he's probably going to win anyway and be mayor of New York City.
Yeah. I mean, also, you walk here's the thing: the people that are voting in New York City, you should see these people that are voting in New York. They don't they don't care, about what. Like you should see. Like I think most people that are looking at this like they don't live here, and that's fine. Like I'm not even saying like, oh, you shouldn't care about it. Like it's the biggest city in America. Yeah, it is a big deal. But I think why I bring it up that they don't live here is you don't see the people that are like voting for. Like there's a lot of people like that, man. And then there's like a lot of people that are like they like their girlfriends or like will force them to vote for Zoran. Like I don't even think people like understand what they're really. I mean, the man's never had a job.
Right. Never had a job. Theater kid.
He's gonna win though. I've resigned to the fact that he's gonna win.
All that to be said, I'm so grateful that you came on. Thank you for being our liaison into what straight dudes think about things, whether it's the cheerleader, whether it's the fight at the White House. Thank you for coming on. And I hope people go and follow you. Not that you need it. You're a viral sensation and your TikToks are amazing, but thank you so much.
I will take any follower.
Right.
Followers are everything to me and I'm grateful. And I'm grateful for you having me.
Okay, is it just me, or does anybody else feel like technology has gone just a little bit too far? Like, we're all texting all day, we're all on social media, we're all bing, 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 yet we have a loneliness epidemic. The birth rates are at an all-time low. Part of that is because of these liberal women. They want to freeze their eggs and swear off men until the end of eternity, but something is not working. I feel like back in the day when they had landlines and pagers, well before I was born, people were happier. They were probably getting laid a little bit more too. Everybody's on social media now, but nobody is happier. And I'm getting a little bit heated right now, but what about when you go to a restaurant and they want you to place your order on a QR code? Okay, come take my order. Come interact with me like a human being. What if my phone is dead? I don't want to place an order on a QR code or at a kiosk. Then you guys have the audacity to ask for a 25, 30% tip. Why am I gonna give you a 25 or 30% tip? I've never laid eyes on you. And then there was that La Quinta Inn in Miami recently, and shout out to La Quinta. I love a good La Quinta Inn, but they outsourced their check-in process to some guy in Calcutta on an iPad, okay? You literally walked in and there was some guy on an iPad. This went viral, okay? To get my room keys, I don't want to have to talk to Calcutta. And then you go to the rooms. You go to the hotel rooms now, everything is on an iPad, okay? The lights are on an iPad. The TV is on an iPad. The bath is on an iPad. Give me a light switch, okay? Give me a TV remote. I don't want to deal with the iPad, okay? Let's just get a little old-fashioned here. Sometimes things that are better are worse. All of this technological advancement, it's not making us happier. I was at a hotel recently, a nice hotel, and the lights would not go off. The iPad was not working, so I called the front desk. I said, hey, the iPad's not working. I want to go to sleep. Oh, well, I have to send the IT guy to your room. If the IT guy is coming to my room this late, he better look like one of the Hemsworths' brothers, okay? He better be ready to tuck me into bed. I don't need the IT guy. I need you to turn off the mother effing lights in this room. At this point, I'm gonna become a Luddite, okay? I'm getting rid of my phones. I'm getting rid of the computers. You guys can reach me on my landline, or maybe you won't be able to reach me at all. I'm also gonna say this. If I never use a QR code again, I'm happy with that. I don't even want to hear the term QR code, okay? I'm not interested in AI, talking to AI, doing all of that buffoonery and tomfoolery, okay? I'm here touching grass. I'm here enjoying my life. I don't need all that. I want a light switch. I want a TV remote. And this house I'm sitting in, it's supposed to be a smart house, okay? Smart house, it's a dumb house, okay? The blinds won't go down half the time. It's a calamity. So technology is not making us happier. Okay, well, I love you guys. Thanks for liking and following. Drop a comment. Tell me how you feel about these technological advancements. Of course, they've helped the medical community. They've helped some of you who are sick, but they haven't helped us socialize and get to know each other better, okay? Because people are on their phones. They don't know how to converse. Are you a yo-yo dieter? You diet, lose weight, but gain it all back plus a few extra pounds? Studies show that it can lead to unwanted health issues. Breaking free of your yo-yo diet pattern is a main reason doctors created Lean. Lean is a supplement, not an injection, and you don't need a prescription. Lean's natural ingredients target weight loss in 3 powerful ways. It helps maintain healthy blood sugar, it helps control appetite and cravings, and it helps burn fat by converting fat into energy. If you want to lose meaningful weight at a healthy pace, Lean was created for you. Let me get you started with 20% off when you enter link20 at takelean.com. That's code link20 at takelean.com. Now we have to talk about none other than Katy Perry. Okay, she used to be a big pop star. Katy Perry used to be at the top of her game. She had 5 #1s off of one album, 5 #1 songs. She did the Super Bowl halftime show. Her clout has gone down. Okay, suddenly she's an astronaut. Remember she went up in that Blue Origin thing with Lauren Sanchez and it was the Jeff Bezos thing? That was a clown show. Okay, and then she came out and she was kissing the ground. Katy Perry, her clout has been down for a while, but she's back in the press. She's in the press because apparently she's testifying this Tuesday in a lawsuit over a house. Let me tell you a little bit about what's going on with this, okay? So she's gonna face off with Carl Westcott's family for the second phase of their legal war after he sold his home to Katy Perry via her business manager, Bernie Goodvie, okay? This is a $15 million mansion, and the sale apparently happened in 2020. But what was relayed to me, right? Apparently he was sick, he was in the hospital, he wasn't doing well, he wasn't in good mental capacity. Someone came in allegedly and said, you know what? You're gonna sell your house to Katy Perry. They quickly went back and said, hey, he was not in a good place. This is not gonna happen. We can't get this to go through, yada, yada, yada. Katy Perry now really, really wanted to evict this elderly man from his home. And this seems to be a track record with Katy Perry. She has some issue with elderly people. I was researching this morning. There's this article as well from 2018 where she, I believe, was suing some nuns for their home as well. So there was a nun involved in a Katy Perry convent lawsuit who collapsed and died in court. Okay. So Katy Perry, I don't know if she's a ghoul. I don't know what happens, but she seems to have some beef with elderly people. She must really, really want this house. Okay. She really, really wants this house. And my thing is this: deals fall through all the time, right? A deal can fall through any day of the week. And it's giving broke, bizarre behavior that she is still clinging to this, that she is still hanging on to this. So let me tell you what's going on. Okay. She has countersued Carl Westcott, claiming that he owes her $3.25 million in damages because she was unable to rent out the mansion during their legal fight from September of 2020 to March of 2024. Now, Katy Perry's legal team wants an additional $2.29 million in repair damages. So I don't know what's going to happen. All of this fight over the house. You would think that she would show empathy, compassion to someone who is elderly, maybe not in full command of their faculties, who wasn't doing well. You would think that she would show some type of compassion, but I think her life is falling apart around her, right? Her relationship with Orlando Bloom has blown up. They're no longer together. Her tour is an utter calamity. Her albums aren't selling. I don't know what's going on with Katy Perry. She's glomming on to Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos. Those are her new best friends, right? Actually, probably the best decision she's made, glomming on to those two. But I don't know what's going to happen with this lawsuit over the house. I have to say, as someone who watched my grandfather deteriorate, have dementia, Alzheimer's, not remember names, places, and things, I couldn't imagine someone coming in and then him selling off his home, right? I remember when my grandfather tried to rent a car and they were like, sir, we cannot rent you this car because you cannot drive anymore. But he knew how to pick up the phone and call and rent a car. You know what I'm saying? But that car dealership would be understanding. I don't know what's going on with Katy Perry. And I think it's interesting that so many elderly people have bad experiences with her, whether it's these nuns who are dropping dead, whether it's the Westcott family. So we'll be tracking this a little bit more in depth on Wednesday. We'll come back and let you know what has happened and what has transpired. But what I can tell you is, being from Dallas, these are good people, okay? The Westcott family, above board, great people. They would not be doing this if they did not feel they were in the right and Katy Perry was in the wrong, in my opinion, right? I don't think they would be engaging in this. They don't need the money. They don't need the attention. They don't need press. So I don't think they would be involved in this unless they thought they had a winning argument and they felt like Katy Perry was trying to take advantage of an elderly man who was not in full command of his faculties. And there's some other weirdness too, where there are all these LLCs, and apparently Orlando Bloom owns the home. So we'll see what happens. I think there's a lot of fancy footwork going on here. I think Katy Perry, when you hang on to something like this so hard, it's because other parts of your life are falling apart. Right? When you continue to wage this battle and war against an elderly man, or whether it was the nuns that she was allegedly trying to kick out of their home as well, and the nuns in the convent are dropping dead, when you do those things, it's because you yourself are rotten a little bit in your core and you're not happy in your life. So we'll be tracking this case as it unfolds. The last thing I want to discuss, okay? Serena Williams. Serena Williams, massive tennis star, legend, icon. She's been going on TV shows recently and basically promoting her own version of Ozempic. She's been going out and promoting her own version of semaglutide, her own GLP-1 drug. And where things get a little bit weird is that allegedly her husband is an investor in the drug. And Serena Williams, she's getting backlash for this. We have the pictures up on the screen because Serena Williams is ripped and fit. People would kill for her body. Women would kill for her body. So if she's promoting GLP-1 drugs, what does that say? You know, it's different if Lizzo, right? If Lizzo goes out there and says, hey, you know, I took Ozempic and it helped me lose weight. Yes, you're someone who we would see benefits from Ozempic. When you look at Serena Williams, she's not someone who should really be promoting GLP-1 drugs, in my opinion. And she's been called out by another actress, Jamila Jamil, and she criticized her for promoting this drug. Let me read you a little bit. So she shared a lengthy Instagram post warning about the possible dangers of what she called miracle drugs that some celebrities are pushing without addressing the risk. She said, Serena Williams is selling GLP-1s. The thing I feel most uncomfortable about here is that celebrities have access to doctors most others don't have access to. These miracle weight loss drugs come at a price. She went on to list some of the side effects, and I couldn't agree more. I think it's very bizarre for Serena Williams, who has hundreds of millions of dollars, to me, promoting a GLP-1 drug. She isn't really talking about the side effects as much as she should, in my opinion. So Serena Williams, we don't know what's going on with you, sweetheart. I think this is really weird and bizarre. And what a way to tarnish your legacy. Serena Williams is an icon and a legend in her own right, and will be a legend in the history books. So when you see her on TV hawking a pharmaceutical product, it just looks weird. It looks desperate. And you almost wonder if her husband, who's allegedly an investor, is pushing her to go out and do this. But as for you guys, we will be back on Wednesday discussing more hot topics. I could not be more grateful that you tune into the show, that you support the show, and you share it with your friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. We are the little engine that could, okay? We are a small but mighty team, and we get on here every day, and we make it work. Through technical difficulties, through other problems, audio, we get on here and we make it work. So I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you on the next one. Bye.